All right, y'all. I don't know what's going on here, but it's a little frustrating. Um, yeah, this thing is tripping big time, and I don't know why. It's saying I got a good connection and all that good stuff. So, um, yeah. If there's anyone out there that's there, just type in the comments, and I'm gonna try to get through this. Um, but I have no idea. My stream keeps stopping, so that is unfortunate because I don't know why. And my apologies that this thing keeps dropping, but it's kind of all right. I see somebody in there, and I'm almost thinking it might be my network again because that was the issue the first week, and it was dropping every week after that. So I'm gonna get it figured out, but I think we're here. I think I'm live again. Um, and I also think there's another. Let's see. All right, we're gonna end that one, or no? I don't know. All right, y'all. All right, whatever. I'm gonna get right to it. So, again, as I like to start my shows every week, I like to thank all of the people who contribute. All right, Jason Gatlin. All right, bro. All right, we in there. We in there. I'm trying to get it figured out, man. Um, yeah, this stinks, man. I be trying to have this thing nice and polished, man, and it's like the last couple weeks I cannot figure this out. Anyways, real MVPs, man, the people who contribute to the show, the people who take their money and they donate it to the show, or a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, it all adds up. So I'm grateful to everyone who takes the time to donate to the show. Um, and then also, yeah, we've got quite a bit of news to get to, so let's just like jump right into it. We've got some board news, and this week we basically saw the board become the board leadership is introduced, and so it's been a little bit because I actually thought they were kind of quiet considering everything that had happened with the student protest and all those things. So I was kind of wondering why we hadn't heard from them yet. But nonetheless, seems like this week we got our first official remarks from the board and our first official um, kind of look at the leadership team. So, you guys, we've got, of course, chairman of the board, Joyous Pete Gamble, also known as Pete Gamble, Jeffrey Branch, Jennifer Adams, John Crossman, and Devin Gibbons. And these are um, the people who are going to make up our leadership team to help us, you know, build a new vision for the future of the institution. So this is important, and this is a very critical day for the school. And so we want to make sure that we can support the chair, the vice chair, Jennifer Adams, John Grossman, Devin Gibbons, because these are all great people. And it should be noted that on our leadership board, we've got three alumni. Pete Gamble, Jeff Branch, and Jennifer Adams are all Wildcats. So we got to make sure to give them our support. We need to make sure that we're just showing them our love and that we continue to support them in any way we can because they will need it. And again, we just, we're in a new place, and I do believe that most people are ready to turn the page, and that they are ready to, you know, um, start anew. The school has so much pinned up energy and pinned up enthusiasm, and I just think because of how things have gone as of recent, um, it's been a little tough for people to really like lock in. But um, I think we're at a point now where we can really start to see movement and enthusiasm. I hear there's um, some serious money being raised in the backgrounds, and guys working the phones and all those things. So uh, we'll see how that pans out. Because I believe that we really have a good team of leaders in place now. They'll be in charge of. I imagine their first um, order of business will be to get us a leader. So I don't know how that's going to look over the coming weeks, but I imagine that's probably the number one thing on their mind. So we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled and our ears locked in on what they're doing, so that we can figure some things out. Um, on other fronts, yeah, the DMV. So this is not the DMV, the Mid Atlantic chapter. They had a meeting, I believe it was last week, and they are trying to pull together alumni in the area. And I know Bethune has a large DMV contingency, so there's a lot of us in that region. So reach out to someone from the Mid Atlantic chapter. I don't know if they have like social media and things like that. But if you do, send it to me. If there's a representative that is watching this, send this to them, or send it to me. Excuse me, that information so that we can disseminate it to the DMV alumni and make sure they have everything they need. Um, and yeah, they're just looking. They're revamping just like the Atlanta chapter was, and like I think everybody's starting to just kind of find their footing again. So let's make sure that if you're in the DMV, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia, make sure you guys lock in with the Alumni Association if you choose to. I'm not telling you you have to or whatever, but if you choose to, I think it'll be good because we all need to be reading from the same playbook and from the same page. All right. Where are we? And then back to the Atlanta chapter. They're having their meeting February. I put February 6 o'clock. It is February. Hold up. I don't let me I want to tell y'all right. I got the date in here. I'm looking at my phone. Let me just make sure. Y'all hold on. Bear with me. It is February 18th at 6 p.m. At Cascade Library. Uh, so Atlanta people, if you in the area, make sure you lock in with the Atlanta chapter. Go ahead and pay your dues or whatever. Or if not, if you still trying to feel some things out, that's cool too. But if you're ready, go ahead and pay your dues. Lock in with the Atlanta Metro chapter, and they have their general body meeting next week on what is that? Next week? That Wednesday, Tuesday, I think. Cool. Right, moving right along. Um, so this was cool, y'all. Listen, I absolutely y'all remember back when, and this is going to be fitting for the discussion, but do you guys remember when Lynn Thompson was over the athletic department? Our football team, man, like we ran the uniform game in HBCU. We were like a mini Oregon University, or University or whichever, how you say it, um, when it came to uniforms. And like every time we stepped out, man, it was like we was on 10. Like we put it on every week to go play. And so that said, I absolutely love the BCU softball. These yellow script cat uniforms with the gold ones, especially. I love those, and the black ones in black and white. Man, those are tough. I don't know where we can buy those at, or if they're in a bookstore or whatever. But those are some fresh jerseys. And the men's, I don't even know. And what I'd love to know where the men's got the idea for the powder blue jerseys, because those are dope as well. Like, it's not really our colorway, but it's so dope. It's so fitting. Maybe it has to do with maybe the water, or the beach, or the sky, or maybe like a tropical feel. Like, I don't know. But I love those things, man. And so I just wanted to give BCU softball a shout out for their uniforms, because like they killing it. Like, they killing it for real. Um, where are we at? And so now we're going to ease into our basketball and into our like larger discussion. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but BCU men's basketball, we might have us a little bit of a team this year. They just won their fourth straight, and I think they beat Texas Southern on either Monday or Tuesday night, and they're playing really well. And I don't know, but we're doing some things in the SWAC comments right now. We currently sit second in the SWAC, and in the power rankings, we're like five in all of HBCU. I can't remember the last time any of our teams have been, ranked that high. I know our baseball is normally kind of up there, but we don't really follow baseball like that, even though our team is like awesome almost every year. But basketball is one of those sports where we just seem to never be able to, like, we can never find our footing with the basketball program. We have maybe a good year and then a bunch of bad years, and a good year and then a bunch of bad years. And so they're balling. And so that kind of takes us into our overall discussion. And it's really about um, Reggie Theus, and how do we feel about him? How do we feel about the job he's been doing since he's been at the school? And so I think it's good to kind of go back and just think about like who he's been over the years to the institution. And he came in 2021. Now, if you guys remember, 2021 was the year that we had so much drama within the ranks of the institution. Um, I think it was probably more one of the more consequential years when it comes to like what like how we were moving the university. And I actually felt like we took a couple of steps back, and that was unfortunate because we had a lot of things going for us. But if you guys remember, we lost Ryan Ritter, we lost the women's basketball coach, Dr. Kreit left, and then we lost Lynn Thompson. And that's how we get to Reggie Theus. And so you have to wonder, like, what happened during all that time, um, or during 2021, like what was happening with the institution during that time. And a lot of us still don't really know. A lot of it was a power grab. Listen, there are two um there were two in 2021. There were two people who I would say were the two most influential people on campus. The first person was Donovan Wells, Mr. Wells. He, and then Lynn Thompson. To me, for about a solid 10-year period, there was no two more influential people on the campus than those two. And we lost one of them in 2021. We lost Lynn Thompson. He, retired. And I don't, we still don't really know the story with Lynn Thompson. We don't know the real story. Um, A lot of people say there was a power play there as well when it came to a certain former board chair, but I don't know. I can't confirm it. But when we lost Lynn Thompson, we really lost the best AD. And I'm not just saying that, everybody think they pastor is the best pastor. So, our AD is the best AD. I'm not just saying it. We had the single best, most effective, most influential AD in all of HBCU for a long time. And it was proven by how we were able to build majority of our programs or have some semblance of consistency. And Vanessa Lewis, thank you, Jason. But we had such a consistency and such a energy about our sports program, even though like we're one of the smaller schools in at the time in the MEAC and then now in the SWAC. But again, I always say this, our brand has always been so much bigger than like the actual size of the institution. Imagine like back in like 2018, 2019, or any year, pre 2020, when Bethune-Cookman rolled up to your stadium and our football team, especially like thinking about back in like 2002 and 2003, when we rolled up to your stadium with the football team playing like they were playing and the band looking how they were looking, everywhere we went, we looked like we were the big powerhouse institution. We looked like we just had it all together with the way the band moved, with the way the football team played and recruited. Like we just we just had that thing, man. And like you just don't get that. Lynn Thompson helped us to create that and develop that over years and years of good sports diplomacy and good business politicking and all that stuff. And so we arrive at this point in 2020 or really 2021 where we've got to forge a new trail with a guy who, number one, didn't go to Bethune, doesn't truly understand, or at the time didn't understand the culture. And so it's like, what do we do? Like how do we create the magic that we used to have? How do we create the feeling and just the, we had it, y'all. Like we had it. And we really haven't done it. And so the question is, how good has um how good has Reggie Theus been, right? Well, let's look at it. This is the big three sports. And what I did was I went and looked at just the last 3 years. I didn't count 2021 just because some of the sports teams weren't playing by the time he got there, or there's like half season. So let's just take these last 3 years. And so you can look at what the baseball team has done, and they've kind of been pretty doing their thing standard. When you look at the conference record. The out of conference stuff, I don't pay that much attention to because a lot of the time we're going against programs that are bigger, faster, stronger, more money, more facilities, everything. So, but the key metric I look at is the conference, right? And in baseball, we done well, right? But then we got to go look over here at football, and it's no secret that we've just been pathetic on the gridiron for 4 consecutive years. And we were trending that way even in 2019. I think we went 6-4, 7-4, something like that. Or maybe it was 4-6. I don't know, but we had a bad year then as well. But it wasn't this. It wasn't 2-6 in conference for 3 consecutive years. And then you have to worry about things that were going around in the media. I think this was last year, or the year before last year. You remember there was a whole rumor with guys that were sharing helmets and all of these. Like the public relations fiasco and drama that we had to deal with the football team, again, that's on the AD. That's on the AD. Now, where there's a bright spot with Reggie Theus is where I thought he'd be good at, right? He'd be good at because if you look, and I'm not saying, but I'm saying two things can be true. Two things can be true. Reggie Theus can be maybe a not so great AD, and I'm not saying he's not. It's 3 years. I think he still deserves a little bit more of a crack at it because I know there have been budget issues as well that he has had to deal with and has made it maybe a little bit tougher for him to make the moves that he wants to make. But if you look at what he's done with his basketball team, AD aside, again, two things can be true here. You just look at it. The year before, I think in 2019 they were really bad. I think they won single digit games. But look, the year he gets there, they are 12 and 20 and 8 and 10. And the next year, 1 year later, they improve by like 3 games, and now, or no, that's 6 games actually because they won 3 more games and had 3 less losses. So they actually improved by 6 games, which is a big deal, right? And now they were 11-7 in 2023. Now look at them this year. They're 8-3. They're sitting number 2 in the SWAC, and they're riding a 4 game win streak. They are currently the hottest team in the SWAC right now, not named Southern. I think Southern is 10-0 in conference play. And so what I'm saying is like Reggie Theus, the guy clearly, can coach. The guy can coach. And so I think we have to be able to separate two things. His job that he's been able to do on the basketball court, he's doing this on the basketball court. That's what you want. Like every year they're literally getting better every single year. That's what you want from any of your teams. But now he's got to figure out how to crack the code with the football team. And you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know at this point what that's going how this football team, we just don't know. It's been bad for 4 years. We don't is this the breakout year? Like it feels like it could be, but we just don't know. They had a great recruiting cycle, but you have to start thinking about fundraising. We got to start thinking about facilities. We got to start thinking about like our uniform game. Like that stuff's important. We got to start thinking about our media. How do we look in front of the world? How do they view us? And all those things fall under the purview of Reggie Theus. So again, I think it's mixed reviews. If you ask anybody, I try to be objective. I think Reggie Theus has been an okay AD, and I think he's been a great basketball coach. And it's just judging by what his teams have been doing, and that has nothing to do with the business side of the business side of the athletic department. And he also doesn't really have the influence of like a Lynn Thompson, even on campus. Like everybody on campus like knew who Lynn Thompson was. When that guy walked into a room or walked anywhere on campus or walked into the game or to the stadium, like you got out of the way because you knew who was walking through there. He had that kind of a presence. And that's what happens when you hire from the inside, and that's what happens when you have a leader who understands the culture. And I'm not saying that Theus can't understand the culture and he'll never understand it, because you don't have to go to Bethune, especially in a professional capacity as a coach or whatever it is. Like you don't have to go to the school to understand the culture, but it is important that at some point you do become a part of the culture. And I don't think he's there yet. I think he's just doing a job. That's the vibe I get from Reggie Theus, that he's just doing a job. And so that's okay too, but we've got a lot of ground to make up, and football especially, right? That's our crown jewel. That is our sport. Like that is like every year we like the football is going to draw the most eyes. It's going to talk whenever we do stuff on the ad, when like we do articles and stuff about football. It's like that stuff goes crazy because it's important. And Tundra says an AD has to have balance across the board. Football um, is what brings money, not basketball. And you're right, because we don't turn a profit on basketball because the stadium or the gym is filled with students and they don't pay to go to games. So it's not like they're turning a profit. So yeah, that is a solid point. Like the focus has to be on football and what we can do um, to lift up the program. And I don't think that should be any knock to any of the other, you know, programs. And we got, golf and tennis, and I started talking about volleyball this year because they was balling out. I think they all deserve more attention, and just more from everybody, including the alumni, including the people that support them. Like they deserve more. And so we've just got to do better. uh and AD Theas has to figure out again how to make us like the belle of the ball again when it comes to sports. Because I'm telling you, man, I was in a band back when, and it's so funny because one of the guys from the football team, and oh man, I should have mentioned him today, but he passed away, and he they had all the team on campus, and the guys went to see him, and they had some pictures of Coach White and some of the old football players. And I don't think people remember, like, yeah, we remember the like Brian Jenkins years, and how we were just kind of like dusting everybody, but people don't forget, well, people forget back in 2002 and 2003, we were a good football team. Like we were beating the brakes off of everybody, and the band had just kind of turned the corner and had become this, we were fresh off the heels of the Drumline movie. Like the school was riding high. And it just feels like, that just feels like a golden era. And it's like, will we ever get back to a time when we walk into a stadium, people are like, oh, they brought their football team by to kick our ass, and they brought the band. Like that is what it used to be, and I just remember it. And so I can't wait till we get back to that. I can't wait till we get back to that. So y'all let me know what you guys think about Reggie Theus. Again, my overall point is I think two things can be true. Great at coaching basketball. A lot of work needs to be done as the AD. And once we get to a point to where we can like start to stop talking about football in the negative sense, then I think we'll be okay. But right now it's like we just it's all bad. And because Intelligence says our sports marketing is subpar, the entire school has a branding issue. If you want me to talk for another hour, so let me tell you, I don't think y'all know this about me. I've been working in marketing. I got my degree in marketing. I got my bachelor's in marketing. I have a master's in marketing, and I've been working in digital marketing for over a decade now. When I tell y'all, I understand it like anything. Like that's kind of my thing. So it pains me to see where we are in that particular area. We just haven't been good at it over the last, so many years. I think we're going to get back to it. I think we're going to get there. Um, but if it pains you, imagine how much it pains me to see some of the things or not see certain things from the school. And so it's just one of those things where I feel like we just have to, you know, we just gotta we gotta keep raising the alarm on our PR and our communications and our marketing. And we just have to continue to support the people that's in place doing those things. Because it's easy for us to sit around and just beat the school up and this and that. And I don't always want us to do that. I want us to be able to celebrate the good they do. So I know sometimes it can be tough to do that when so many things have been going wrong. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, and then we can wrap it up. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I truly believe our best days are ahead of us right now. I believe that. I believe that in my heart. I hope y'all feel the same way. I hope people have a renewed energy about what we're doing and how we're doing it, because I believe we're in a good place. And remember, I told y'all I had a really big announcement. I think I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share it now because it's a big deal. Um, so next week. Oh, I forgot about this. There's no show next week. All right, no show, and I'll explain why. As you can see down there, I turn 42 next week, y'all. So it's my birthday next week, so I'm taking some time off. I'm gonna let the show breathe for a little bit. I've been going at this for I think this is the fourth or fifth show, and it's a lot putting these shows on like every week, just from trying to make sure um, that I'm up to date on stuff. But next week is my birthday on Wednesday, the February the 19th. I'll be turning 42, so y'all won't see me next week. I'm gonna be somewhere chilling, having a good time with my wife and my baby girls. So yeah, but we won't have a show next week. But I'm going to make it up to you the next week. You know why? It is because, and let me give you a backstory on this before I share it. Our board of trustees, one of my biggest gripes over the last 10 years has been, my belief is that I felt like they have worked uh, in a dark cloak of secrecy. And to some degree, that's necessary. And I believe that it's just one of those things where when you have so much going on, it's like, okay, y'all should be saying more, not less. Y'all should be sharing more, not less. What I can tell y'all is that this particular version of the board seems a lot more dedicated and a lot more committed to transparency, and much more committed to us being involved, not in the day to day stuff that they have to deal with, but they are involved. They want to keep us in the loop, and I'm gonna prove that to y'all right now. Next week, we have our first ever Board of Trustee to join us, Mr. John Crossman, who was just elected to the board leadership. He is the chair. Excuse me, he is not the chair. He is the chaplain of the board, and he has been given he's been given clearance to come on the show and talk to us um, next week. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, next week we're gonna have a board member, or excuse me, 2 weeks on the 20. What's the date? The 27th or something like that. 27th, I think. Um, he will be here to talk with us, and I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk to you all. And I'm gonna give him the floor, and I'm just gonna let him share his thoughts about their vision for the new board. I'm going to just ask him some questions. I'll also allow you all to submit questions. I'm going to put a form out next week, because what I don't want is people to just go crazy on the questions or disrespectful or whatever, whatever. And I want to make sure that they come back. Because if we do it right and this is productive for everybody, guess what? We may have this show may end up being a conduit to our leadership back to you all, and that's what we want. So I think it's important that we do a good job when we have John here next week. Excuse me, 2 weeks. But again, that's gonna be a big deal, and we're gonna need all of y'all to tune in and tell your friends that we actually got a board member that is willing to come and talk to us, willing to come in and again just tell us how they do things, uh, upcoming projects or decisions or whatever. I don't know how much he'll be able to share, so I know there'll be some legality and stuff around some of the stuff he can share and not share. But I think it's going to be a huge moment for us to finally talk. When was the last time any of y'all um, got a chance to talk to an alumni about school business in a setting like this? You know what I'm saying? So let's make sure we can we come together, share this thing, and we're gonna have a good show on the 20th. Again, no show next week because I'll be turning 42, and the last thing I want to do is have to plan for a show next week. So Magic gonna be in town up here in Atlanta playing the Hawks. So my wife got me tickets to that, so we going to see that. So I'm already stoked. But other than that, y'all, I think that's it. Unless y'all got any questions or anything, y'all. Hold, let me cut this out. Y'all got any questions? Y'all got any comments? I see the comments and been going pretty good. What we got? Oh yeah, John's a cool guy. That's good. That's good. Yeah, and he's got a very unique background that I think you guys will appreciate when you hear it. I'm not going to tell his story for him. I'll let him tell it. But I think he's got a unique story. We had a discussion a couple of days ago, and so I'm excited for you to hear who he is, not just only as a trustee, but just as a person in general. So yeah, what else we got? All right, cool, 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 cool. Happy birthday. Thank you, Miss Tundra. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. It's been great. It's been a great few weeks here starting this thing up. I'm gonna figure this show out. I'm gonna figure uh you know how to make sure my signals and stuff are straight. I thought I had it figured out, and I don't, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just in here talking to a mic, and y'all listen to me. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think I'm good, y'all. We good? I'm good. All right. Y'all peace. Remember, not next week, no show next week, John Crossman is joining us, and that's gonna be a big deal. All right. Peace.